Okay. Uh, Good morning, everyone. This is AIDA MARFIL of the Compliance and Internal Audit Office. We would like to thank the Provincial Information Office for giving us this opportunity to present our accomplishments for the period January to October 2023. So, before the accomplishments, I would like to introduce or present the functions of the Internal Audit Office. The Compliance and Internal Audit Office was created on October 6, 2016 by virtue of Provincial Ordinance number 001/2016, which aims to provide objective assurance and advisory services intended to add value and improve operations of the provincial government. For information, internal auditing in the provincial government was introduced in 1980s, but with different functions. They involve in operations or line functions. But its function in 2023 is to assist all levels of management in the achievement of an efficient and effective fiscal administration and performance of the agency affairs and functions. What is our legal basis? The legal basis was Republic Act 3456, which is the Internal Auditing Act of 1992. Kasi siguro magtataka kayo, bago sa pandinig ang Internal Audit Office sa provincial government or even in the Bicol region. Kasi sa Bicol region, ang Albay province lang ang merong operational Internal Audit Office. So, ano ba yung yung objectives nito? Number one is to ascertain the reliability and integrity of financial and operational information and the means to identify, measure, classify, and report its information. And then to ascertain the extent of compliance and reviewing the systems established to ensure compliance with government policies, plans and procedures, laws and regulations which impact on the operations. And number three, to ascertain the extent to which the assets and other resources of the institutions are accounted for and safeguarded from losses of all kinds. Number four, to review and evaluate the soundness, adequacy, and application of accounting, financial, and other operating controls, and promoting the most effective control at reasonable cost. Next, to review operations or programs to ascertain whether or not the results are consistent with established objectives and goals, and whether or not such programs are being carried out as planned. To evaluate the quality of performance of groups or individuals in carrying out their assigned responsibilities. And last, to recommend corrective actions on operations deficiencies observed. And these objectives are achieved through the conduct of compliance, management, and operations audit. So compliance, management, and operations audit. The compliance, kung yung definition namin, is evaluation of the degree of compliance with laws and regulations, managerial policies, and operating procedures. Ito po yung tinitingnan namin or dinidetermine namin kung so level of compliance sa LRRs. So management audit, ito yung pagre-review and evaluation ng soundness, adequacy, and application of accounting, financial, and other operating controls, and promoting the most effective control at reasonable cost. And then operations audit is the review of operations or programs to ascertain whether or not results are consistent with established objectives and goals, and whether or not such programs are being carried out as planned. So ano ba ang scope ng internal audit? Ang scope of internal auditing covers all phases of operations or activities in the organization. So the internal auditors have to attend to all matters where they will be of service to the management in accordance with the general standards. The extent covers financial, accounting, and operating activities and management control. It includes evaluation and appraisal of internal controls, its adequacy and effectiveness. So an internal audit as an integral part of internal control system of public service organizations. It encompasses the appraisal of the adequacy of internal controls, the conduct of compliance audit or evaluation of the degree of compliance with laws, rules, and regulations, managerial policies, and operating procedures. It is actually subsumed in the performance of management and operations audit. So, what are the coverage of an internal audit program? Compliance and Internal Audit Office has only one program, that is an internal audit program. So ito po yung mga coverage ng aming audit program. 1. Conducting cash examinations. 2. Review receipts and disbursement of cash or checks. 3. Making physical count of property to support audit findings. 4. Review books of accounts. 5. Confirming accounts receivables, payables, and inventories. 6. Review payrolls, billings, and collection activities. 7. Staging procedures, systems, methods, and commenting on their adequacy. 8. Conducting field examinations. 9. Reviewing bank reconciliation statements. 10. Making studies of management problems. 11. Reviewing compliance with and adequacy of policies, plans, procedures, and regulations. 12. Testing the reliability and usefulness of accounting and other financial and statistical data produced in the agency. Then the examination of the effectiveness with which agency resources in the form of manpower and property are utilized. Then examination the effectiveness of safeguards provided for agency assets, safety audit of provincial road networks, performing special assignments, and review of contract implementation for infrastructure, goods, and services. Siguro magtataka kayo kung ano ang relationship namin with the external auditor. Kasi ang kilala lang talaga ay yung COA auditor, who is the external auditor na tinatawag natin. Pero kami sa SIAO, ang tawag sa amin ay internal auditors. So the function of internal auditor and external auditor are complementary to each other. Cooperation and coordination are necessary in order that more areas are covered for the least possible time and cost. Division of work can be adapted because some audit areas may be delegated to internal auditors like verification of accounts, receivables, and accounts payable, observation of physical inventory of property and field offices, verification of account balances, and other ocular inspection of fixed assets. So hence, cooperation and coordination is a clear understanding of each other's roles and objectives are the desired factors for effective performance of both auditors. So the creation or presence of the internal auditing department in the local government unit helps the external auditor on the extent of audit work to be done. And both auditors aim to serve the management. However, the internal auditor's examination focuses more on the effectiveness and efficiency of the established internal control systems in the operating and support units, while the external auditor's responsibility is to express an opinion as to the fairness of financial condition and the results of operations of a given period. If and when the external auditor, after the evaluation or review of the internal control system, found the IC as adequate and effective, he may limit his examination of detailed transactions to such tests of controls to determine or establish the reliability of the accounting records. On the other hand, when there is weakness, inadequate or internal control at all, the external auditor will conduct extensive examinations of transactions. In addition to such, the extent will vary depending on the competence of the internal auditing staff. So external auditors, being more experienced, can provide internal auditors of pieces of advice on technical matters. On the other hand, internal auditors can also offer assistance into the following categories: sources of information, allow access to their working papers to ascertain the extent and quality of work, follow-up recommendations of external audit should be followed up by the internal auditors to ensure proper implementation. I would like to mention also, ano ba talaga ang value na or benefits of having an internal audit? One is this will help an LGU accomplish its objectives by establishing a source of continuous assessment of internal controls, also a continuous source of recommendation for improvement. Two, this will help LGU establish citizens' trust that the LGU's resources are effectively and efficiently managed for optimum service delivery. And number three, this will help an LGU to demonstrate that it takes the principle of holding the officials answerable for the use of public funds seriously. So now, I will present the accomplishment. Physical accomplishment muna para sa January hanggang October. Nag-cut off kami ng October 2023. Our performance indicators, and then we have the targets and the actual and the percentage of accomplishment. So, number one item is the number of processes, systems, and procedures appraised or evaluated. Our target was 3, and we conducted, our actual is 4, and percentage of accomplishment is 133%. Number of case examinations conducted, our target is 6, and the actual was 8, or the 133%. Number of PPE accounts balances reviewed, ito po yung property, plant, and equipment, 100% percentage of accomplishment. Number of bank reconciliation statements reviewed, our actual was 195 or 84%. Number of operations audit conducted, iisa lang po, so we have 50%. Number of technical assistance rendered to cities and municipalities, we have 100%. We have conducted 4. Number of organizational structure evaluated, we have 12 or 109%. And number of provincial road networks audited on safety. So we have 157% for a total of physical accomplishments of 89%. For the other accomplishments, SHAO provided advisory services to the management by facilitation and assistance in the formulation of management policies and procedures by giving suggestions or insights. And then conducted orientation and refresher to accountable officers like the collecting or the disbursement officers, in coordination with the Provincial Accounting Office and the Provincial Treasurer's Office. That was held on October 26, 2023. And we conducted in-house coaching lectures on audit activities such as the baseline assessment of internal control system, cash examinations, procedures in the audit of asset accounts from cash to inventories, and then inspection of unserviceable property, plant, and equipment that the government intend to so on public auction. So other accomplishments, provided technical assistance to other LGUs through benchmarking. Last January 12, 2023, the city of Naga, Kamsur. January 24, 2023, Tanawan City of Batangas. February 13, 2023, Ligao City and Kamalig, Albay. And June 26 to July 14, we conducted on-the-job training for newly hired job orders of Internal Audit Service of Ligao City. So for our financial accomplishment, for personal services, we spent 7.8 million for maintenance, other operating expense. We spent 1.5 for a total obligations incurred of 9.3 or approximately 55.52% fund utilization. So, iyan lang po ang aming accomplishment for January to October 2023.